Okay, Rabbi Shalom Aleichem, Parshas Mikeitz. As you see, it's a little bit, we haven't been on for weeks because Torah Anytime got the last 4 Parshas from Shemos all the way back messed up. They're somewhere in the archives. I found them 5 years earlier, somewhere in January of 2007. So we're doing them over, but we're just saying Amaya and Beis HaSheva. 5 minutes, and then that'll be that. And then we'll go to the next one, 5 minutes. And if you want the long version, go last year, you can see it. Let's go to Mikeitz. Mikeitz. Let's take the first piece and the Mayan Beis HaSheva. That means Mem Aleph Ches. Vahiba Boker, and your father had a dream. And in the morning, Vatipoyim Rucho, his spirit was banging him, like a pa'amon, a bell that bangs. His spirit was troubling him. Vayishlach vayikra, and he sent and called Chartumei Mitzrayim, all the magicians and advisors of Mitzrayim. That's called Chachamei and all the scientists. And he told them the dream, as his dream, about the 7 cows coming out of the river, big 7 fat cows, and then 7 other cows came out of the river and ate up the fat cows, and they went on the side there and they ate them up, and you couldn't tell that they went into the skinny cows. Then he had another dream, 7 big stalks of grain coming up, fat one, and then the 7 other ones come up and they ate up the fat ones, and you couldn't tell from the skinny ones that they became fatter. And he was very disturbed, and these 2 dreams came one after the other in the same night. And he got up in the morning and he was disturbed. And he called his advisors and magicians and the voodoo people and the magic people and the people into the occults. What does this mean? And he wasn't satisfied with the answer. They told him, you're going to have 7 daughters, they're going to die, and whatever. So at that time, the Sar Hamashkim, who 2 years before, to the day, his dream came true what Yosef said, that the Sar Hamashkim would be reinstated and be the butler, and the Sar Ophim would be hung, and that's how it happened 2 years to the day. So Yosef was in jail 10 years for speaking Lashon Hara against 10 brothers, plus 2 more years. Because he said to Sar Hamashkim, don't forget me. And he shouldn't have done that. He should have trusted Hashem. So he stayed 2 more years as a punishment. So he was in jail 12 years. But meanwhile, the first 10 years, he was a pretty big man in the jail system. The last, and then he became even higher, the minister of prisons. Anyhow, so now 2 years later, Pharaoh has a dream. It's exactly after the dream that they had. 2 years before, and 3 days after the dream, the dream came true that Yosef predicted, and that was Pharaoh made a party, a birthday party, Yom Genusia, the Genesis day when he was born. They made a birthday on his birthday, and they executed the Sar HaOphim, and they didn't execute the Sar HaMashkim like Yosef predicted, and exactly to the day. And that day was Pharaoh's birthday, or some say the day he was installed into the government as a pharaoh. Yom Genusia. Genesis means beginning. And that is the day that he comes, he remembers, and he says to Pharaoh, there was a Jewish boy in prison, a young man, Nar Eved Ivri. Rashi says, cursed are those Goyim. They're not appreciative what he said. Told him he would, and his life would be spared. Nar, he's immature. Eved, he's a slave. Ivri doesn't know Egyptian language. But you know what? He knows how to interpret dreams exactly like you said it happened. So they pulled Yosef out of the bar. He shaved himself and got dressed and came to Pharaoh, put on special garments that Pharaoh gave him. And they declared for him his freedom, because Pharaoh can't have anything to do with the slave. So they gave him a declaration of independence, that he was a free man now. And that day was Rosh Hashanah, Aleph Tishrei. Means Yosef's fate changed in one day, just like in our life. On Rosh Hashanah, your fate changes from Misa to Chaim, or Chaim to Misa, from Tzadik to Rasha, or if you did Shuvah the Chodesh Elul, you go from Rasha to Tzadik, or Beinani, 50-50, you go to be a Tzadik. That was Rosh Hashanah. Yeshua Hashem Geher Avayin, the blessed salvation of God is like a blink of an eye, like Yosef, from a minute by Yerushalayim in Abar, and the next day he was the prime minister of the country. That was Rosh Hashanah. He said, the Sar HaMashkim says, I remember last year, there was this Jewish boy there, and he's pretty good at interpreting dreams. Get him over here. So they called him. Let's say what the Mayan has to say. He told him the dream about the cows eating other cows, and grains being eaten by skinny grains. Yosef said, Pharaoh, this is one dream you had. two versions of it. Now, why should Pharaoh be worried, asked my father? A stupid dream. Cows coming out of the water. Cows don't live in the water, and they're not carnivorous. They don't eat other meat. They don't eat other cows. They're not carnivorous. What's the silly thing there? Why does he bother him? He asked the wise men, the scientists, the astronomers, the astrologers, the voodoo magicians, and why is it bother Pharaoh such a stupid dream? He baboker, it was in the morning, mem aleph ches. But Dipoim Rucha, his spirit was bothered. He called all his chatumim. Call halom b'pashazu. Anyone who learns his yisma will be stumped. Hamash and Nivhal Pharaoh got excited about a stupid dream. Emergency meeting of all his advisors. A joke. The dream was a cholam meguchak is a joke. This is a dream of tipshus, of stupidity. Chiyoda, did he know? Sheyesh bechalomos, that in his dreams there's certain kind of something in that dreams. His galus, what's going to happen? Something bothered him. That's why he got disturbed. What was that? That was, as you know, Mikeitz comes out on Chanukah. He had a Chanukah dream. Mikeitz always comes out of Chanukah. You know what kind of Chanukah dream? The weak overpower the strong. That what disturbed him. It's a joke, but not really. The weak overpower. That's not the way kings think. This disturbs me. The weak should fall, and the weak cows eat up the fat cows. Really? Is that how life works? Also, Pison, when he saw right away, Marach Hamura, this vision, Hepach Haruri Diyoma, what he thinks every day. Kings think of victory, and victory, not weakness and submission. Then he knew there was a message here for him. And he was so disturbed, he called Yosef. And Yosef told him, your dream means nothing to do with 7 daughters are going to die. They're going to be 7 years of plenty. And they'll be eaten up by 7 years of hunger. And he won't even notice after the 7 years of hunger. It'll be so severe that he ever had any good years. So he first asked all his chachamim, this man is wise. Is there anyone wiser than him? So he said to Yosef the next day, you're the wisest man in the country. Would you like to take the job as prime minister? That's why you read Mikeitz on Chanukah, to show that he gave over the powerful in the hand of the weak. That's the reason you read it here. Yosef detected something in this has to do with a kingdom. He's predicting the future. And she says, look outside, Pharaoh. Look right now. You see the trees blossoming? The food is growing as you see it. God is already doing it. The same how fast that comes, how powerful that is. So the bad years are coming just as fast. They'll be so bad you won't even notice anything good. He says, anyone chacham wiser than you? They said to the advisors, you got the job. And he says, you became so powerful that no man in Egypt could raise his hand. His hand or his foot means no man can possess arms or ride on a horse, only a donkey. You're the total, complete prime minister of the country, even though he's not a born Egyptian. Hashem came and taught Yosef Amalek the 70 languages in one night. And this is the Vart of the Mayan in the first Vart. Okay, Rabbi Sai, we're finished this piece, and then, because it's short, the original one is lost somewhere in the archive. Sei gesund.